Hi, Carly. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming in today. I'm so glad you came in. Did you have trouble finding it?
No, everything was good. Traffic was light. It was easy to get here.
Good. I'm so happy to hear that. So now what brings you in today, Carly?
So I recently moved away from home. Was living with my parents and my two younger sisters, and I moved away from home. And I've just been feeling a lot of guilt about leaving them because my two younger sisters, they're adopted. They're really my cousins, and their mom was sick. And so my mom was taking care of her, and I kind of took on a motherly sort of role with them.
Of
And
course.
so now I've just left them. Now I'm not there to help out with them. And so I'm just feeling a lot of guilt surrounding being away from my family.
So I wanted to let you know we practice solution-focused counseling here. And solution-focused counseling it's basically a mode of counseling that kind of allows you to paint a detailed picture of what your life would be if your best hopes from therapy were achieved. Does that sound like something that sounds good to you?
Yeah, that sounds great.
So now I'm hearing that you feel a lot of guilt because you left your sisters at home with your family. Is that kind of how you feel? You feel guilty because you're away and they're back at home with your mom and you took on a motherly role and now you're not there anymore.
Yeah, that's it exactly.
Okay. Now now if you had to put into words the guilt that you're feeling, is it how heavy would you say that guilt is? With, 0 being I don't really feel any guilt at all, and 10 being, I'm so weighed down by guilt every day that I can't think of anything else. How would you rate that how you're feeling today?
Um, it varies based on the day, based on what I'm doing, how I'm feeling, just in general. But I think today I would say maybe a 6 because, I ran some errands before this. I was driving over here, I was listening to some music, and so I wasn't thinking about it as much. So today hasn't been a day when I've just felt super heavy and burdened with guilt, but I do have days like that.
Of course. Okay. That makes total sense. Now, what do you think would be a way that you could help yourself move from maybe just a 6 to a 5?
Um, I think it just is this worry in the back of my head that I'm here, I'm at school, I'm working on my own goals, and I'm having fun with my friends, but what if my family is at home and they're not okay? So I think that maybe just setting aside time every day to FaceTime or just talk to my family, check in with them, and just see, they are okay. They're fine without me, which I know they are, but it just weighs on me that I'm apart from them. So I think having time to speak with them and see that they're doing okay would really be helpful in make easing this guilt I feel.
So that sounds like something that you set aside a time every single day where you could either FaceTime with them or you could have spend some time with them to really make yourself feel a little better, that, make yourself feel a little less guilty about you being away and that they're still, functioning on their own without you. And does that seem like something you could do every day?
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. I think that the time would probably have to vary because we all have busy schedules and stuff. But I think that my family, I hope they miss me. I hope they would want to check in with me too. So, yeah, I think that's definitely something that could be attainable.
Of course. And now we talked about, you said, you feel a 6 today and you feel really weighed down by the guilt, but you don't always feel like that. So let's talk about some times that, you really feel not as weighed down. When are some instances of, success that you've had that you don't feel so weighed down by the guilt?
So when I'm, working really hard on something for school or I'm out with my friends and I'm just caught up in being happy, I am not thinking about it as much. It's later when I've slowed down and my mind kind of has time to wander that I start to think, I spent all day having fun, but what if my family is at home and they're going through a hard time? What if they're not okay and I was over here, just hanging out with my friends, not even thinking about them? And so, yeah, the exceptions to my guilt are when I'm working really hard on something that I'm passionate about or that I really enjoy.
Absolutely. And it sounds like, you do have times where you're not as weighed down by the guilt and you are enjoying life and you're in the moment. And I think that that's great. So that's something that we should strive, to have more often for you. So you're not feeling so weighed down by this guilt because you're away from your family and you've left your family and you don't feel, as if they're not going to be okay without you. Now let's do an exercise where I'm going to need you to use your imagination a little bit. But let's pretend that you go to sleep tonight and you wake up in the morning and you have absolutely no guilt about leaving your family and you feel totally at peace with yourself. What would be different, you think, about when you would wake up and how you would feel that day?
Well, pretty much when I first wake up every morning, I'm looking at my phone just to make sure I haven't got a call or a text that something's wrong, that something's happened that I wasn't there for, or that I'm gonna have to rush home for. And that even kind of breeds this anxiety with me that something could happen to a member of my family or something can go wrong and I won't be there. So not having that feeling anxious about missing out on something important. I wouldn't have that. And I would know my family was okay and I'd be able to think about them and, pray about them and hope they were okay, but not have that consuming my mind. I'd be able to get up, go about my day, whether it was school or hanging out with my friends or softball or whatever I have on the calendar without being consumed by what is my family doing? Are they okay? Should I be there? Is there something I could be doing for them right now?
Absolutely. And so, I think that if you set aside a time that you could talk to them every day, maybe even you could try even in the morning. Maybe that could even help a little bit with, you not feeling as anxious until you talk to them during the day that everything was okay. You think if you did that, every day, that would kind of help you feel less weighed down and less consumed by this guilt that you're feeling because you're not necessarily physically present with them, but you're emotionally and mentally still present with them. You're still talking to them, you're still keeping the communication open. I think that that sounds like a great goal. Do you think that that's something you could do? You think that's something that they would be interested in doing as well?
Yeah, I think, and doing it in the morning, I think that's a really good idea. I think it would be a good start to my day. It would set me out on the right foot, just seeing there's my family, they're doing okay, they're there doing their thing, I'm here doing mine. We can still interact with each other and both live our own lives. I think that would, talking to them first thing in the morning, just checking in, would really give me a little bit of peace throughout the day.
Exactly, because we don't want you to feel so consumed by guilt that because you're not there with your family that you miss out on, enjoying your time during the day and enjoying your life. And sometimes we get, so caught up in worrying about other people that we forget to enjoy our life and everything that's happening. And I don't want you to miss out on this time and because, you're feeling so weighed down by this guilt and so consumed.
Yeah, and I think I am to an extent doing that. I think I'm missing things because I feel guilty for having my own life.
Of course, and guilt is a heavy emotion. I mean, it can really be all consuming if we don't, do something about it. So I'm really proud of you that you came here, and I'm really proud of you that you have recognized that, this is something that I want to work on, and you want to be present with them, and you want to be there for them because I can tell that you feel a lot of love for them, and I can tell that, you really care about your family, and you really want to be there for them, and you want to let them know that you're there for them as much as absolutely possible. But I also want you to be able to, take the time and take a step back and enjoy your life and really, really, live out your passions because as you said, you are in school, you're still playing sports, you're hanging out with your friends. And those are all, very healthy things that I think it's incredibly great that you're doing. So we just want to work on, making sure that you're spending time for yourself and you're still, enjoying and living in the moment. So does that sound like something we
Yeah.
can work towards this week? You can set a time every morning, maybe with your family. You can FaceTime and maybe even send them text messages throughout the day, just to make sure that everything is okay with them, but you're not feeling as weighed down and consumed by that guilt because you're not physically present with them.
Yeah, thank you for being proud of me. That means a lot. And
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, I think that that is definitely something I could do and definitely something that would make a big difference in how I'm feeling every day. I think thank you for helping me come to that. I think that's something that's would make a big difference to me.
Absolutely, Carly. Well, let's try to get you moving up one scale, one number on that scale next week, and let's check back in and see how everything is going and see if you thought that helped. And if you think that goal didn't work for you, we can try something else next week. But I think that that's something that we should start. And if you can implement that this next week, then we'll go ahead and talk about it when we come back.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I'm excited to try it.
Well, thank you so much, Carly. I appreciate it. Let's meet up next week and see how things are going.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, take care. Drive safely.